And good afternoon, Bitcoin gladiators. This is Drew coming with the midday market report for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Starting off, taking a look here as I take a look at the fear and greed index. We begin to see since last month it's fairly high, the fear. My motto is when people are afraid, you do the opposite. You find courage within yourself to go against it. And when people are selling out, I'm actually buying. And this has been helping me since the very beginning. So those who are new to my channel, I always use this fear and greed index to see the temperature of the crypto space. Now we know that it's pretty high. It's extremely fearful, and this is one of the reasons why it's causing this to move sideways. And the question that many have asked me, Drew Bears, why is it going down and what's the cause? I did my research and I found out exactly the reason why. I'm going to share that with you at this time. So we're taking a look at the Coinbase Pro inflow. What does that mean? Whenever people start selling off their Bitcoin and taking it out of the Bitcoin, it's going to bring the price down. Now, as far as retail investors like you and I, we're not going to make much of a difference. What's going to drive the market are the whales. In other words, the people that have billions of dollars invested. And so as we take a look at this chart here, if you look at the bottom here from September 20, we begin, and I want you to look at the red. That means there's not much happening. And since there's not very much going on, as you can see, we begin to see that that's when the price of Bitcoin began to go sideways. But then over here, we begin to see a red line that just goes up. Now look at this, compare this line to all of the rest of the lines. Like, look at this, this is crazy. I found out that this is one person, one individual who had $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, American dollar, pulls it out. Now, why would one do that? It's done because of desperation. The individual who did this was trying to bring down the market. And by putting it into a wallet, he thought that he could bring it lower. But, and I'm not going to disclose who it is, but what I'm saying is, um, and plus two, legally, I don't want to get myself into trouble. But what I want to tell you is that this individual thought by pulling out all of this that it's going to bring this down to $15,000. And the exciting part is it actually held. And I'm going to go into the Bitcoin chart to explain why now I'm even more bullish than ever. So this individual did it in desperation because the individual knows that um, we're pretty much at the lowest of low. Now, whenever I hear people say it's going to go to 18,000, 10,000, 5,000, you know, that's a little bit overkill. We need to look at the metrics and what's going on. So we can't expect this, like I said, for those who are new, to go up continuously, or else all of us would be billionaires overnight. But what I'm trying to say is this is part of the movement and what's going on. There are certain things we just have no control of, right? So, and this is what we don't have control over, is when whales try to do these crazy manipulative moves. But the great thing is Bitcoin is holding strong. And despite what he did, pulling out $2.5 billion worth, it did affect the market, but it didn't affect it enough. And so why do I know this? Because he pulled it out of the wallet and he didn't put it back in. So obviously now he's waiting till this hits the bottom. And I can guarantee you this individual is going to start buying going back up. So with that said, we can begin to see this reflecting in what's happening in the market today. As you can see that there's a descending triangle. That is a very bullish pattern. So even though it's coming down, we begin to see that there's even a second wedge inside the triangle right over here. And as we can see, it's holding with this support. And if it does cross the support, then I would consider this going down a little bit more bearish to this support line because it's been holding really good. So with that said, I'm expecting this to begin to get closer to this area. And once this hits this area, it's going to begin its way up once again. This is a line that I've been following right over here. And once it crosses this line at some point, whether it's over here, here, once it crosses, I'm going to put another position going long, going bullish. We begin to see Ethereum is exactly the same, where it's continuously being supported by this internal wedge right over here within the descending triangle, which shows me it's another bullish metric coming, and this move is very imminent. It's going to eventually cross this and go way up. We're also looking at the XRP. It's exactly the same thing. We begin to see a great support line right over here, and I anticipate this to follow that and then go up this way. So what do I recommend for myself? For myself, I'm waiting for these specific breakup points to buy another position going bullish. But I'm not going to go into a bullish position until it crosses here because I'm a very conservative investor. A lot of my partners are already buying a lot already. They've been buying here, and now they bought here, and they're going to continue to buy as it continues to slowly go down before it goes up. So with that said, I don't have any worries about what's going on. Despite the fear factor, everybody seems like majority of the people are fearful. For me, I'm not, because I know and I've been through this before. We're gonna make it through this short-term move. You know, they can try all they want. You know, 2.4 billion, 2.5 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin is insane. But the great thing is, look at this, it held. The individual wanted this to drop more, but it didn't. And so, you know, once this individual pumps it back in buying long, because there's no point in him going short still, it's going to move this up just as much as it moved it down and some, because there's a lot of us who are waiting for this to begin its ascent back into the bullish arena. Other than that, I wouldn't worry about it. Actually, be excited because we are having opportunities to buy the dips so that once it goes up, there's nothing stopping us. And this is the time to buy it while it's down at its lowest. Now, talking about at its lowest, I mean, 30,000 is pretty good still considering where we came from. So we really can't complain with 3 or 4 or even 25 or 30 or 40%. I mean, we've tripled our money, you know, from the beginning. So, and that's starting at 10,000, right? Which wasn't too far long ago. So, with that said, I mean, expect these things to happen. I mean, this is part of normality. I do understand though that the S&P as well had a big hit because of what's happening in the US. And I'm not going to say very much about it because last time I got censored and I wasn't able to post anything for almost 3 weeks. So I'm not going to say anything, but what I'm going to say is it's looking good. The market, the Dow, just rebounded today from the great and historical losses on Monday. So that's a good sign. We're beginning to see this level off again. And so with that said, don't worry, don't stress, just focus on success. Other than that, have yourselves a great morning. If you have any questions or concerns, you know how to reach me, bitcoingladiators@gmail.com. Subscribe so you can have up-to-date and current news. And if you're wanting help one-on-one, I'm always willing to help you through Zoom or however means you need to be taught. So other than that, have yourselves a great day. We'll talk to you in the evening.